Hello, my name is Katie and I lead the internal communications team at Smartsheet. Along with my colleague Brianne, we're going to give you a quick overview and demo of our Coronavirus Preparedness and Response template set. In light of the current pandemic, my team, along with HR leadership, created a Smartsheet solution to centralize and disseminate critical updates and preparedness resources to our employees around the world and to assess risk in the locations where we have office operations. This solution has been incredibly valuable as we actively monitor the situation and need to rapidly evolve our response plan to keep our employees, their families, and our communities safe. This is something that is so top of mind for all of us right now. We've made our internal solution available as a customized coronavirus preparedness and management template set on the Smartsheet Solution Center. It's available to licensed users on a business, enterprise, or premier plan, and anyone on a free trial can also download and use. We hope it's helpful. Now I'm going to turn it over to Brianne, a Smartsheet Customer Success Manager, who will walk you through how to access and download the template and give a brief overview of each asset.
Thanks so much, Katie. I'm going to share my screen now and we'll jump into Smartsheet. All right, so first thing, we're going to want to create a workspace before we get started where we're going to put all of our new assets that we're going to use in our new template set. So I've created a workspace here called Coronavirus Company Preparedness. My next step is I'm going to go over to our Solution Center, clicking on my plus icon. This brings me to the Solution Center here. In order to get the Coronavirus Preparedness template, I'm going to use my search bar in the Solution Center, search by keyword, and get access to the template set. So I'm going to click Learn More to read more about what is offered. This will give you a detailed example of what's included in the template set. I'm going to click on Get Template Set Now. This brings me back into Smartsheet here where I've created my workspace. The template set's going to go to your Sheets folder as a default. I'm going to drag this into my newly created workspace called Coronavirus Company Preparedness. The template set consists of 4 sheets, a form, and a portal that serves as your communication hub. Let's dive into each one and give a brief overview of how to customize for your organization. First, let's look at the office location sheet. The office location sheet keeps track of where your company's offices are located, the emergency point of contact for that particular office, the preparedness tier, and any other information you would like to include about the office location. The office locations are linked to the portal that is included in the set, so any adjustments you make to this sheet will show up in the portal. In the office location column, put in the offices you wish to track. In the tier symbol column, assign a symbol that indicates the preparedness tier associated with the office. The portal has a tier definition of 1 through 4, 1 having no impact, and 4 being the highest impact and signifying a closure. In the tier column, use the dropdown to select the tier that matches the symbol you have chosen for that particular office. Both the symbol and the tier will populate to the portal. For each office location, use the point of contact and POC emergency number columns to list important contact information in case there is an escalation or emergency. The modified and modified by columns will auto-populate with the person who last updated the office locations and/or the tiers, as well as generate an automatic timestamp. Next, let's look at the Coronavirus COVID-19 Travel Illness Intake Sheet and the associated form. Use the sheet to survey employees who may be showing symptoms of coronavirus, have traveled recently, or are generally concerned about the potential exposure and subsequent risk to the office. Edit the sheet by adding office locations consistent with the office location sheet you already edited. You can also edit the other columns at your own discretion. You can edit the associated form by clicking Forms, a button found in the upper left-hand corner of your sheet above the toolbar. Areas that you can modify include free text. You can review and edit to make sure this is consistent with your organization's policies and verify that all questions align with these policies. Add any additional questions using the Add Field menu. The potential risk of spread and company exposure column is a formula-driven column based on the initial date of symptoms, possible exposure, and cold or flu-like symptoms columns. This should not be modified unless your criteria is significantly different. The column logic works like this: full, if exposure has been within the last 7 days; 3/4, if exposure has been within the last 14 days; half, if cold and flu-like symptoms is yes; quarter, if exposure has been within the last 21 days; and empty, if there's been no exposure. Automated alerts and notifications to managers of the sheet can be created by clicking on Automation in the upper left-hand corner of the sheet. For example, you can set up daily summaries of responses or get a notification when an employee submits a response showing they have traveled in the last 14 days and are symptomatic. There are lots of options here to customize notifications. The Coronavirus Preparedness portal is your single source of truth for communicating guidance and the status of coronavirus in your company across each of your offices, and as a mechanism for collecting employee feedback on their potential exposure. Remember, this portal can and should be published and shared across your entire organization just to make sure people have access. The portal fosters communication and transparency by clearly communicating and encouraging employees to submit feedback. If they have traveled or felt ill, it links to the CDC documentation online and assigns a definition to the various tiers represented. You can customize the portal by clicking Edit and hovering over a widget, or adding a new widget by pressing Add Widget. You can add more resources, attachments, change hyperlinks, and add new paragraphs. Widgets allow you to customize the portal in lots of different ways to accommodate your specific needs. If you have more or fewer than the number of offices represented on this dashboard, you can delete some of the widgets by pressing Edit and hovering over them, or add a new office by selecting the metric widget and linking to a new row in your office location sheet. One important piece of information I want to highlight on this dashboard is that the form associated is a graphic placeholder, and you should replace this with the URL to the form we created in the Coronavirus COVID-19 Travel Illness Intake Form sheet. We worked on this in earlier steps. A great additional resource added to the portal template as of March 17th is a link to the Johns Hopkins Coronavirus Global Tracking Dashboard, which we have found is one of the most reputable sources for reporting statistics globally by country and by US state. We'll go back to our template set here. So one very important point about the confidential at-risk employees report and how it works. This report is designed to collect and filter employee survey responses that indicate which employees may have a higher level of risk to your workplace. Based on the formula in the Coronavirus COVID-19 Travel Illness Intake Form, this should include those that have shown symptoms or traveled in the last 14 days. Due to the nature of this information, this report should not be shared with the company and instead kept internal to need-to-know HR people only. Use the COVID-19 risk assessment matrix sheet to assess and manage your risk. If there are business units, departments, teams, or individuals working on projects that might be affected, altered by, or perpetuate the spread of coronavirus, list them here and assign the appropriate level of risk. This sheet can be customized to fit your needs, and it contains everything you need to get started. The final asset is the COVID-19 communications tracker. As you're responding to the situation in each of your office locations, use this sheet to track internal communications that you are sending out to your organization while COVID-19 is affecting your region, your employees' ability to work from home, and your company's ability to fulfill work obligations. So that is a demo of the Coronavirus Preparedness and Response template set. I'm going to hand it back to Katie.
Thank you, Brianne. We'd love to get feedback for how the template set is working for you. You can use the form on the same page that links from the risk assessment matrix in the comment section. Lastly, we're all in this together, and we hope you find these templates a valuable resource as you mobilize your teams and organize your response.